We go ahead and call the June 4th board meeting to order. Let the record show that all aldermen are present other than Alderman Wade. He may be joining us a little later. At this point, Mr. Glorioso will lead us in the invocation, and Mr. Impey will lead us in the pledge. Please stand.
Please bow your heads. Thank you for bringing us together today in the spirit of generosity. May we honor one another by keeping an open mind. May we voice our truth and listen with an open ear. In Christ's name we pray.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Need to add two addendums to the agenda. First one we'll have under 3. We'll have a 3B. It'll be an additional presentation. And then item 6A will be dealt with at the recess meeting in 2 weeks. So
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda, Mr. Mayor.
Second. Okay, motion by Ms. Jenkins, second by Mr. Cox. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Make a motion to accept the addendum.
Motion by Ms. Jampy. Second by Mr. Cox. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Presentations first. The Mayor's Youth Council for 24 and 25 has been selected, and they are here to introduce themselves.
Good evening. It is with great enthusiasm and pride I present to you our 2024-2025 Mayor's Youth Council. Potential new members go through a competitive and comparative selection process, which includes a written application and interview with incoming officers and myself. This year we received over 50 applications for membership openings. So they are here tonight, so they are going to stand up, say their name, their grade, and what ward you live in. And we'll start with Emma Williams.
Hi everyone, my name is Emma. I am an incoming senior and I live in Ward 2. Hi, my name is Nick Partridge. I'm an incoming senior also and I live in Ward 2.
I'm Tate Castleman. I'm a senior as well and I live in Ward 5.
I'm Preston Lewis. I'm an incoming senior. I live in Ward 4.
I'm Joby Womble, an incoming senior. I live in Ward 6.
I'm Talia Harsa, incoming senior, and I live in Ward 6.
I'm Mason Lott. I'm an incoming senior, and I live in Ward 2.
I'm Caitlin Alfonso. I'm an upcoming senior, and I live in Ward 5.
I'm Katie Lee Geyser. I'm an incoming senior, and I'm in Ward 5.
I'm Natalie Tynes. I'm from Ward 2, and I'm a senior.
I'm Katie Dyes. I'm an incoming senior, and I'm from Ward 3.
I'm Dallas Finn. I'm an incoming junior, and I live in Ward 1.
I'm Warren Williams. I'm an incoming junior, and I live in Ward 4.
I'm Madeline Short. I'm an incoming senior, and I live in Ward 5.
I'm Mary Coulter Dasher. I'm an incoming senior, and I live in Ward 2.
I'm Camilla Coulter. I'm an upcoming senior, and I live in Ward 5.
I'm Haley Dahlgren. I'm an incoming junior, and I live in Ward 5.
I'm Chris Finley. I'm an incoming senior, and I live in Ward 4.
I'm Avery Knight, Trevor Rising Senior. I live in Ward 6.
I'm Caleb Hood. I'm an upcoming senior and I live in Ward 6.
I'm Leah Basie. I'm an incoming junior and I live outside City Limits.
I'm Evan Butler and I'm an upcoming senior and I live in Ward 1.
I'm Olivia Gilmore. I'm an upcoming junior and I live in Ward 1.
Alright, go with
Good, Billy. What ward are you in, Billy? Stand up. He's a super senior in Ward 4.
Outgoing senior.
Mayor, I have to say, I'm no math major, but Ward 5 seems to be the predominant ward over there. So, good job, guys.
Anyway, congratulations to each one of y'all. We look forward to the next year with you. You're going to have a lot of time, a lot of good times, I feel, and not much spare time because Raven keeps you pretty busy.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, congratulations. We're glad to have each one of you. Next item on the agenda, we are graced by the presence of two of our state officials, Representative Hank Zuber and Senator Bryce Wiggins, and they're here to make a presentation to the board. or the city.
Mr. Mayor, I would be remiss if I did not say, first of all, to the new members of the Mayor's Youth Council, to give each and every one of you an invitation to come up and see us at the Capitol. We'll be happy to show you around, show you the legislative process, and just have a good time. But with that being said, Mr. Mayor, Board of Aldermen, members of the administration, members of the public, the most important, the taxpayers that pay for everything. On behalf of the Ocean Springs delegation, which consists primarily of myself, Senator Wiggins, Senator England, Representative Reed, Representative Geis, and our lobbyist, Haley Martin and Associates, it's our honor and privilege to present to you a check, which we'll let the senator present. A check in the
wait, I didn't get to address everything.
Politician, come on.
You gotta stand at the podium.
That's right. Okay. But in a check in the amount of $3 million to the city. And as you can see, there's a lot of items that money can be spent on. Obviously, there's a need for City Hall. We hope some of it is spent on lighting and sidewalks. But without any further ado,
I wanted to say, before we get to the big unveiling, big deal, no, it's a pleasure to represent Ocean Springs and everything. Hank will tell you that when you get up to Jackson, I'll use the word jealous. They're jealous of Ocean Springs, they're jealous of the Gulf Coast. And we did a panel for the Chamber of Commerce, we did a number of things, and we come back, we were at Phoenicia's for the Chamber of Commerce delegation. And we really do have, if not one of the best delegations in the state. And I think what you're seeing here is an example of that. It's a crazy process, but it's teamwork, and as they say, the teamwork makes the dream work go. And teamwork between the city and the coast delegation, and with our state leaders, the lieutenant governor, the speaker of the house. I mean, they know what we have down here, so it's truly an honor. And as Hank said, it's about the people. We're just holding these seats till until somebody else comes along. We hope to hold them a long time. But it's your seats, so we appreciate it. And
if I may, though, Bryce, I did not realize this, but the senator told me this is the 4th largest capital X expenditure for the state of Mississippi for a city this past session. The 4th largest.
Okay.
Who wrapped that? Who wrapped it? Ask me.
There you go. The big reveal. There you go.
Yeah, I walked down there for $3 million.
Now, one other thing. Now, Mayor, this is not in the account yet. It'll be in the account shortly after July 1st. And you take this.
Thank y'all very much.
I want to these guys are pretty modest. Hank and Bryce probably spend more time in that Capitol than, 90% of the other guys and ladies up there. They work extremely hard. And they're pretty modest about that $3 million too, because they also worked on another $3,050,000 worth of appropriations. So in total, the city was appropriated $6,050,000 this year. $250,000 Tylen's money, Another $1.2 million in Go Mesa to lift and get Washington Street from flooding frequently. And then bulkhead at Front Beach, so at Go Mesa also. So they're pretty modest, and then I wanted to make sure they got recognition for the other $3 million that was appropriated. Thank y'all. Anybody else want to say?
I do, Mayor. Hank, I want to share something with everybody here, but you two in particular, because just got literally before the meeting got the green light for this, but I want to tie it in with something you spoke about at the chamber event the other day, the Cook Road extension project, with some of the things going on there. That's big, what all's going up that way, and I really appreciate y'all's work on that to make that happen, or potentially put the wheels in motion. So thank you guys for that.
You know that.
I know it, because we started it in 2017. We started having conversation in 2017, and that's great. Even though it's not in the city limits, it's going to benefit the city tremendously. But to piggyback that, the announcement I want to make tonight is that I'm sure everybody loves Chick-fil-A. Everybody loves Chipotle. So not only are we getting one, we're getting both on Highway 90 in Ward 5. I know it's going to be tough for Ricky to make his way down outside of Ward 2, but I'm sure he'll find his way to get some Chick-fil-A.
Traffic's a little bad on that
It's a little bad that way, but yeah. So yeah, it's coming to the old Twin Pines Motel property there. So that's where those two are going on the Highway 90 side. There'll be 2 extra parcels on the back for something else. So big day.
If I may, you may want to keep rolling and tell them about the announcement for the Vietnam Memorial Park.
That's coming up there too. We were awarded a new M1 tank.
I thought it was an M60.
M60 tank. You're right. I was thinking M1 Abrams. M60 tank. Vietnam era tank that we have recently, Parks and Rec put a new pad out there, concrete pad. Do we know when it's arriving, Hank? Do we have a date?
Next 2 or 3 months.
Okay, because they did a fully demilitarized version that they found for us that we were cleaning up and getting repainted, and we just got to find somebody to come bring a crane and drop it off for us.
Well, I was told when we had the Memorial Day function, I spoke to some of the gentlemen out there, and there's supposed to be some reserve and guard units, transportation units that will be drilling at Camp Shelby this summer that will be able to bring the tank in. And at the same time, they will be removing the helicopter to be refurbished. That helicopter's been out there since, I believe, '97, since the memorial was dedicated. It needs some tender loving care. So when the tank's brought in, the helicopter will be leaving temporarily to be refurbished, and then it'll be brought back in and remounted on its pedestal. So a lot going on out at the Civic Center.
Mayor, can I say one other thing? Sure. Since we got the students here, we, in addition to all of that, and I know it's a little bit different board, but the school funding led by the House, we got a new school funding formula, which leads to Ocean Springs going forward having an additional $3 million every year thereafter based on what we're doing. So that's, from what I know, that's one of the largest increases in the state. So that's
one of the top 3 largest increases for K through 12 in the state of Mississippi.
Wow.
So now very to know which ward they lived in. I'm impressed. I don't know, because I didn't know which place I lived in at that age.
And our delegation also, Hank, I know you made the presentation, y'all were at the school the other day, the $1 million in CTE funding. I think that is going to be critical. You said that will be fund the CTE program for the next 10 years, updated equipment, programs. I know that my daughter was in the Teacher Academy Pro, which is part of CTE, but that I think that's fantastic. You know, not everybody's going to go to college. You know, and those programs that are under CTE, I think are critical. I think that's going to be a game changer at Ocean Springs.
Good session.
You got anything else, man?
I know he's chomping at the bit.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate everything you did.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is item 4, is a public hearing. Approved request for a preliminary plat for a subdivision of townhouse dwellings in the CH Regional Commercial District on Groveland Road, PID 6012733.0.100. Applicant Freddie Fountain and Associates LLC. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Blackman, second by Mr. Arthur. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Carter, you want to explain?
Yeah, it's Harbor Grove. Is proposing a 30-unit townhouse development. It used to be 24-hour storage LLC is the owner. It's currently zone CH. The conditional use permit and the sketch plat was approved in 2024. And so staff recommends approval. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Does anybody have any questions for Carter?
This is the property directly behind the 24-hour storage. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right.
Anyone?
They will still have to come back for final plat.
Okay, that's it. Is there anyone from the public who would like to speak for or against the plat approval, preliminary plat approval? Okay, need a motion to close?
Make a motion, we come out of public hearing.
Second.
Okay, motion by Mr. Cox, second by Mr. Blackman, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Is there a motion to approve or deny?
Question, what is the timeline on this thing? Do you have one, roundabout number?
Yes, sir, I don't have a timeline on it. We have a couple of things that we have to tweak for the final plat, and then the final plat will come back to you guys for final approval. I don't know, I think the applicant is here, it's Mr. Pepkin, so they can speak to that.
Okay.
Freddie Fountain with Fountain and Associates, 13334 Seaway Road, Suite 202, Gulfport. So the process that we're in right now, preliminary plat, we still have to construct the project. We expect that the construction will take somewhere between 4 and 6 months, and then we'll be back for the final plat process.
Okay. Well, I just expressed the same concern I did last time. I mean, I think it would be good to have the Dina Road project done before we put any more traffic on that road.
What's the
that's why-
timeline for the entire project before you start occupying those townhomes?
I would say 12 to 18 months, if I had to guess.
What's our timeline on Dina?
Well, we've got it out for bid now, so,
What's the bid date?
opening, I think, on June 20th. And it's,
Pre-con?
yeah, pre-com.
Pretty quick after that.
At least it's not MDOT funds, so it shouldn't be held up that, for those processes.
MDOT.
It's not MDOT, so.
Well, but when I talked to Ben, he said there was some MDOT approvals needed since,
That has to do with the permitting, and
Right.
at the Ocean Springs Road, we're working on that, that shouldn't delay it. So,
It was
I'm not sure.
theoretically, we could start late July, early August.
he's saying September, October.
Yeah, September, October is probably more like it.
And how long's the project? 12 months?
That's what he says.
Ours.
I don't have the exact timeline, but it depends on where along Dina, and we could try to coordinate it as we get closer, but, we're gonna have to coordinate construction anyway, because we're gonna be reconstructing during that time, so.
Okay, I don't know the scope of the city's project.
As we go forward, we'll be sure to coordinate with Mr. Fountain and, try to, address some of those things as well as just construction congestion.
Okay.
Just so we know things are in place for that, so.
Yeah, we'll keep it on the radar and coordinate.
Questions for Mr. Fountain? Okay, is there a motion? Thank you.
I'll make a motion, we approve the request for the preliminary plat for the subdivision, or H subdivision for townhome dwellings in the CH Residential Commercial District on Groveland Road, PIDN number 601-27330.100.
Motion by Mr. Blackman.
Second.
Second by Mr. Papania. Any further discussion? Dickie's not here, so I'm going to call for a roll call on this. Caution of the night.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Well, you're not gonna mention that's a war cry also?
Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is agenda public comment. Public is invited to address the board for up to 3 minutes each for a maximum period of 30 minutes. Only regarding issues listed on this agenda, please identify yourself and the agenda item you're addressing.
Hello, my name is Deborah Parker. I live at 3201 Hamel Farm Road, Ocean Springs. I'm addressing under the mayor's section B. I saw on the agenda tonight, approve the special event permit for the Marty Hop. I just wanted to mention that I would like to ask y'all to deny this permit this year. A permit is exactly what it is. It's to be approved on the, how it was approved. They did not adhere to their permit last year, and when I asked about it, was it a fine, was it any kind of consequences, no one on the board nor the chief could answer that. And since they diverted their parade to private property, and again, I'm speaking just for myself, I'm not representing my church or anything, but I would ask under those circumstances, they did not adhere to their permit, and I would ask that you deny this year's permit. Thank you.
Anyone else would like to speak to the board, address the board on any agenda item? Oh, okay. Moving on to old business. Moving on to new business. To adopt the resolution for renewing the multifamily moratorium for 12 months. This is something we enacted a year ago. The multifamily apartments basically are straining our infrastructure, especially now that we've got to address an annexation area with infrastructure needs. I also talked to the superintendent of Ocean Springs Public Schools, and he says it's really stressing the education system too, with the amount of residents that come in with additional apartments. So that's what we're proposing, to go ahead and keep that moratorium in place for another 12 months.
Where are we on that study? I'm not seeing anything yet. When we first did the moratorium, it was supposed to be a study, right, to figure out where we were on infrastructure at schools and stuff, and that's been almost 2 years.
The school is doing a study on their part, and we have not been presented that. And then the other study would be the comprehensive plan, which we anticipate that happening within the next 4 to 6 weeks, 4 to 6 months, I'm sorry.
But do we need 12 months, or can we do 6 months?
We don't have any apartment, we don't have any apartment complexes on the books or even talking to us about apartments right now.
I really wasn't in favor of the moratorium to begin with. I would much rather 6 months over 12.
I don't know, gentlemen, we're annexing a new area, and that's going to be quite a burden.
We can renew in 6 months, but I mean,
6 months.
kicking the can down the street for a year, waiting for reports, I mean, after it's already been going on this long, I mean, I think 6 months is enough. I'll support 6 months, but I'm not going to support 12.
Did we have anything I know Jackson County Utility Authority had been on that original request. Have they forwarded anything further?
Jackson County has the capacity, the Utility Authority has the capacity. It's the infrastructure to handle that capacity is where the issue comes into place.
I don't see the difference between 6 and 12 months, to tell you the truth. And I don't know if anybody sitting out there on the board know of anything that's being planned. They started today, it'd be a year and a half, 2 years. Mr. Fountain said 18 months to do 30 units.
Yeah. The people who are developing apartments in Ocean Springs right now are going to subdivisions. They're developing subdivisions. So we don't have anybody that's approached that came to my office or City Hall or Carter or Carolyn, I don't think, had anybody talk about apartments.
A clarification on the definition, there was a legal determination made that townhouses were not included as a multifamily. It's a single-family attached.
I understand, yeah. I was just using Mr. Fountain's 18 months construction period.
I know when we put it in place, we delayed at least 3 people that had them on the books, so they were interested in starting, so.
Well,
Yes.
We are looking at the sewer out in that area, but that's ongoing.
What area?
The whole east end area, the triangle basically area, that's being evaluated now under ARPA project, so hopefully we'll know more in the next
That's
year.
the diversion project that they're doing.
Yeah. But that's still
You guys
under
put
design and
a lot of
evaluation.
sewer in out there, Gerald, years and years ago. I know up Ocean Springs Road and up 57 and even east on 90, all the taps are there, right, from my understanding? Most of the taps would be.
There's taps, but I wouldn't say they're all there.
Yeah.
That was just on highway, that was the CDBG
Right.
project, just on the Highway 90 and on 57. It wasn't any of the other.
interior area.
It's a redistribution that we're looking at it. Which may
But I
alleviate.
mean, we got capacity out there is what I'm getting at some point when we
I don't think
tied
it's
in the side roads and all to the main, we got enough main sewer lines out there on the main thoroughfares to.
Water sewer, I think, is fine.
Or do we? I mean, I'm asking.
It's iffy, the area you're talking about in the east end of town, there's parts of the east end of town that you don't want to add anything to right now until we get this rediversion going or whatever we're going to do with it to move it more to the east because it's
It's tight.
You've got a lot of house construction on its way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you stop that too? Or, that's the only question.
If it does anything to impact the area around Gay Lemon and that, within a mile or two of that right there, or a mile, I'd say, or maybe not a mile towards Parktown, if it impacts in that area right there, you're taking a big chance at overflowing and not being able to handle it.
I'm talking more towards 57, up 57.
If you get to the highway, I mean,
Up to the
of course, it's
interstate.
all new infrastructure, they probably can handle it, in that mid area.
Yeah.
If it flows towards that mid area, I would not.
Until diversion's done.
Until we can get this project done.
Okay, well,
So
it's different, I think, it's different, we're talking about subdivisions being built versus, putting 600 apartment units on a piece of property.
Mayor, I'll kick it off. I make a motion that we adopt a resolution renewing the multifamily moratorium for 12 months.
Got a motion by Mr. Pena,
Second.
seconded by Ms. Burgess. Roll call.
Aye.
Hey. Aye.
Nay.
Nay.
Aye. I did get to break the tie one time. All right. Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Does anyone have anything to pull from the consent agenda? Okay.
Which one, Ricky?
8K. 8K. Anything else? Is there a motion to pull, to approve the consent agenda, removing item 8K?
So move.
Motion by Mr. Aldermen.
Second.
Who was the second? Mr. Blackman. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item K, authorized transfer of position and incumbent Parks Maintenance Technician Gary Cooper from the Parks and Recreation Department to the Mary C. O'Keefe Cultural Center as a Mary C. O'Keefe Facilities Technician effective June 8, 2024, with the approval of the Human Resources Committee. Okay, Vicki.
So, I was just brought aware of this when I got the email, and I just have some questions. Like, looking over this list, I guess I got one question. Okay, when he's gonna be doing, audio at night, is he gonna have a flex schedule where he comes to work late, or is he just gonna rack up comp time and overtime?
No, there'll be a flex schedule. We all have it because we have events and we have to cater to them, so
And then the other thing is, if he's gonna be doing the grass, the weed eating, all the maintenance, so we're saying that we're not gonna have to have the grass cut over there anymore?
Not by parks, no.
What about maintenance on window sills and painting?
So anything that is beyond what one person can do, we'll just do a work order in like normal. But it'll reduce a lot of work orders, so.
So who is he gonna be reporting to? What director?
The mayor's secret.
She'll, like everybody else does, they would report to Sarah, and then Sarah reports to me.
I have a question. I mean, Gary's very valuable with that maintenance team, isn't he? Is he not? I mean, I hate to pull him from the maintenance department and put him at the Mary C. if mainly he's just gonna be doing technician work and all that, and you're still gonna put in work orders to pull the maintenance over there.
So I sent a document, I'm not sure if you guys got it, but, there's basically a lot of subcontractors that I use for different things that he can kind of be on board, and a lot of my people they have a bad back, they're kind of getting older and retiring. I need like a little bit more consistent help, and so some of the subcontractors that I grab from we have to sub out custodial for events, for any curating help. We have an assistant and his back has gone bad, so there's just a lot of different things that I could utilize, like
So he'll actually be there for events for custodial work too?
He's a facilities technician, so he's going to be helping with maintaining the building, which is a lot right now, especially going into these restoration projects. And then they want him to do custodial. That'll take away our subcontracted work for that. And then, yes, he's going to be doing a lot in the theater. He's got to be trained and learn that world, but he's got the background and the passion behind it. We have two technicians, Chris and Mason. They're educated, very skilled people that we want to work with. We want to make sure we keep them. It's very rare to get a technician around here for sound and lighting. So to have someone in-house that understands the equipment, can help maintain it when they're not there, because they are subcontracted or paid for by rentals, is kind of, it's really important.
Bobby, this came from Scott. This first suggestion came from Scott.
I don't think, that's not what
Well, it is, because he said it to me.
Are we gonna give the maintenance department another guy if we're gonna pull one from them?
Well, actually, they started with 5. Y'all, I had forgotten that, but when we look back.
Right, and we are trying to build that department, so
Right.
now we've
So now
got,
instead of one riding with Scott to get parts and all, he is back on the crew. So there's 2 crews, and then when Scott joins, and then Gary can be pulled for the fencing and the big projects. If they have bigger projects, just like they'll have to help Gary if it's a bigger project than one. But hanging the pictures without any mail over there, but one day a week, there's just a lot of problems. And they don't want to go by there and cut what they're doing to assist.
there's definitely a need there, but I just don't wanna pull from
I
maintenance.
get it. He's the only one that could have done both. That had the
So
qualifications to
he will
meet
still
the.
basically be part of the maintenance crew, he's just gonna, his main focus will be the Mary C.
Yes, he can be pulled. All they gotta do, the only reason he wouldn't be pulled is if he was doing, dance things during the day. The theater would be the only thing that would stop him if Scott and him wanted to build a fence, let's say. He'll report back over there while they're building the fence. Just the theater part, if he's gonna handle some of that, is during the day, but.
Looking at this list, I don't think he's gonna have time to work on maintenance.
Well, I mean, there's hanging the pictures in the art thing with Miss Pat. There's just a lot of things where there's a need.
I'm not saying there's not a
Yeah,
need, I'm just saying that, looking at this list, I mean, even some of the most focused people would have a hard time staying on task. That's a pretty big list.
Yes, it is. If we tried to make sure that it was full. Yes, that it was full.
Okay.
Yeah. But the suggestion came from Scott, and the first time it was said to me. So-
Well, I like the idea. I love it, actually.
I understand Ricky's concerns, because, I mean, I share a little of the concern, that, hey, can he handle this extreme list of duties? It's a lot. But, you know, I know Gary's abilities as far as work, construction, and sound, you know, and musicians. So I guess the only question I have is, can he handle the list of duties?
All of us we do a lot outside of our job descriptions.
Right.
And I think they just want to be very clear, the Human Resources Department, they just want to be very clear as to how this is going to be a 40-hour job.
Right.
And I can see it, and they can understand it, but, you know, unless you're there day to day, you know,
Yeah.
you wouldn't
Because, I
understand.
mean, I can see it being a 60-hour job.
Yeah,
with that list.
Yeah, it'd be a hard job,
think,
but it's a balance. We have seasons and we have busy days, and the beginning of the week is not as crazy as the end of the week, so
Well,
we'll flex.
We added the grass at the end because the new water system and all, somebody needs to kind of baby that as it's going in and the new grass and all. If that was to become a problem, the grass could go back to just being the parks, because he would only have a push mower. They whip in and do it on the ride mower if this is too much of a workload.
Like, get him a riding lawnmower.
Well, I mean, I think we just need to get it going and see how it's gonna work out, but there's no one else that I know that's in the city that can do the sound part and the maintenance and all of it. So if maintenance ends up needing another person, we can address that. But they started with 5, and then we added Gary, if y'all remember.
I don't think I'd take that position away. I would leave that position in maintenance to be filled.
Well, you can do that, but you'll have 2 riding around getting parts again. What you've done is put them back out in the field more. That came from some of them.
And I think it's pretty important out too that the HR committee did meet on this, and we did hash over all of these finer points, and we kind of drilled down and kind of got in the weeds on some of these, and
Yeah,
some
you
of
talked
these
to the
were.
maintenance department.
We did, and we talked, we sat down, everybody sat around the table, Parks and Rec, and so it was, you know, like I said, we did kind of get in the weeds on some of these these topics and address all it to where everybody at the table felt comfortable with it.
Custodial work there is a lot during the
I was
function.
kind of hoping we'd get into it and kind of discuss that.
Well, the custodial, we're getting that work down in the parks. Archie's over the custodial team now. He feels like they can go in and do the bathrooms once or twice a week, Bobby. We just haven't gotten that far with routing the custodial team back into the Mary system. They have not been doing it, so she's been paying $800 a month. That's going to stop. So there are some savings that's going to help offset this.
And them coming in twice a week is plenty, and we can take care of the rest in between.
I just remember it being a big deal during events. You know, while the events were going on, the custodial, a lot of times we didn't have anybody there. But whoever just happened to be there from the city would go in and try to do what they could do.
Yeah, well, we still like that some everywhere because we have a lot of events.
Right. All right.
Anything else?
I make a motion that we approve. Okay.
Motion by Mr. Aldermen,
Second.
second by Mr. Impey, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
What is going on in the Mary C, that there's not any grass, Bobby, to worry about?
Can you wait till public comment, Matt? You're interrupting the meeting.
Wait till we get to the public comment.
About that.
Speak.
You're talking about taking care of
Okay.
stuff that's not
We're
there.
not talking about public comment yet.
Does anyone have anything to pull from the docket of claims?
Make a motion, we approve the docket of claims, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Cox,
Second.
second by Mr. Impey. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Does anyone have any questions on the monthly budget report? Is there a motion to accept the monthly budget report?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Impey, second by Mr. Blackman. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is general public comment. The public is invited to address the board for up to 3 minutes each for a maximum period of 30 minutes. Only 2 speakers will be allowed per side of each issue. Please identify yourself before speaking. Okay. address the board?
Sorry, I can't hear y'all. I don't know if you don't have it turned up or if I'm going deaf. But I'm having a real hard time. My name is Dee Woodson. I live at 1518 Porter Avenue. And I'm here tonight because of my son recently moved a house that was wanted to be moved by the people that were there. He has 2 lots. The original old house that the Myrick's owned is on one side, and this new house is moved in front of it. And the house that they built in the 50s, the yellow brick house, is what they've been living in. And so he had gotten permission to move the house. I didn't know until last week when I went to court with him that he's been to court 3 times, and the city is suing him for wanting to put the house there. I'll be 80 this year. I think he's kind of worried about me being where he could take care of me close. But at any rate, I also got to go to court on the 19th because I've been sued by the city as well for having junk in my yard, because I've got 4 vehicles that I don't drive very often because I can't drive but one at a time. Although I've got a neighbor that's got about 6 in his yard. I can park 20 and do every year during Peter Anderson for $10 a piece if anybody brings a car close.
Paying taxes on that?
On what?
That
On my
cash money
property?
that you're charging people to park?
No, but you know, the churches that charge $25 don't,
Yeah.
and the neighbor down the street, and the house that's for sale that's got the big yard that charges $25, I don't think he does either.
Never
Basically, I'm just letting people park there to try to be nice. I don't want to take advantage of them. But at any rate, I am concerned about this house because there are 2 lots there, and all over town, I see big things going up, taking up the whole lot, including where this house was moved from. In fact, the garage is so close to the property line that I saw the people working on it standing in the neighbor's yard the other day under the tree, getting some shade. So I hate for my son to keep having to go to court since he's been 3 times already, and the house is just sitting there. So, I mean, can't we, I come to these meetings all the time, and I see y'all letting people do this and do that. Oh, yeah, you want to move that house, go ahead. It's been there for a long time, but you want to build a big 3-story humongous thing and start banging around with hammers at 6 o'clock in the morning and waking the people that actually live in the neighborhood up. Go ahead, that's okay, we don't care. You want to make an 80-year-old woman walk out in the middle of the street because you've got the sidewalks closed off, and then the people park in the street by the sidewalk. So the only way I can get around it is to walk out in the middle of the street with my dog. I thank you for your 3 minutes.
Thank you. Does anyone else would like to address the board? Okay, moving on to Alderman and Forum. Alderman, Mayor Forum, Burgess.
Stephen, did we get feedback on the,
I emailed them. We should have it by July 1st.
okay, so the
Your
playground
line should
equipment?
be coming in about the same time, so I'm shooting for July. As soon as we get it in, it won't take us a day or 2 to put it in.
Yeah, no, so the piece of playground equipment for John Gill Park, all right,
Right.
excellent, thank you.
Good.
Good, Mayor.
Good, Mayor.
Okay. There's no executive session. Is there a motion to recess until 6 p.m. June the 18th?
Motion to recess.
Second.
Blackman, second by Mr. Hoffman. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We're recessed.
I've got one more question before we go. On East Beach, I was are you talking about on the sand? Somebody said the other day they thought you were going to put it on the branch.
It's against the seawall. It's going to be up against the seawall. It's not going to be, it's on the sand, but it's against the seawall. It's different. It's different. The construction of it is, the construction was bad construction on the beach. But that one,
Did a lot of work.